I actually woke up kind of late today.
I gotta go open up the food truck. If anyone has any brilliant ideas on how to tape down an iPad and square stand to our table here, please let me know. A little janky, but it does the trick. Alright, so it's about 7 a.m. We're ready to roll and bowl. It's been kind of slow in the mornings, like right when we open. No one has really come yet. We've had a few people. But today's pretty uneventful day. We do have a new employee coming in at 9 today, and I'm going to train her. And we're really just waiting for all of the TCU students to get back in session, back in school, because then we're going to be a lot more popular, or so we hope. Time to peel some bananas. We got some downtime right now, right before the lunch crowd comes, so I'm gonna give you a little tour in the back of Rollin' and Bowlin' and show you how we make our bowls. So here we are in the back. This is London, one of our first employees. So here we have the blending station. Recipes posted on here. It's all secret though. Then we have the topping station with granola, shredded coconut, chia seeds, honey. We got a nice line of bananas. Usually we have more filled sinks where we wash everything. Our kiwis, which we will cut soon. Our deep freezer with all of these goodies. And we have our fridge. Topo Chico, almond milk, coconut water, Greek yogurt, avocados, strawberries, kiwis, and cold brew. I'm listening to NPR's podcast called How I Built This. So awesome. Whether you're an entrepreneur or just a human being for that matter, you must listen to NPR's podcast, How I Built This. In the podcast, they interview some of the most innovative and biggest founders of some of the most successful companies in the world. They share their entrepreneurial journey and how they got there. Some of these people have just an absolutely insane story. My favorite one so far that I've listened to is the founders of Airbnb. They have a crazy story. Short story short, that's not the expression. Long story short, the founder of Airbnb meets this random guy at a bar. The guy has no place to stay, so he invites him back to his house. He doesn't really have a lot of room, but he has an extra air mattress. So he blows up the air mattress, the guy stays with them, and meanwhile the founder of Airbnb is thinking, this is absolutely insane. I have a stranger sleeping in my home. Then the next morning everything's fine. Him and his roommates start thinking about it, and they're like, you know, that was a really cool experience. We just had a total stranger stay in our home, enjoy themselves. Then they started this idea of air bed and breakfast, Airbnb. But they had a lot of problems funding the company, so their initial capital was actually all from credit cards. They actually called it the Visa round, as in Visa credit cards, kind of funny. But then they start compiling all this credit card debt and they can't pay it off. And the Airbnb guys are thinking, gosh, how do we get rid of all of this credit card debt? Keep in mind, this is during the time of the presidential election of 2008 between Obama and McCain. So then they think, why don't we sell cereal, like breakfast cereal? Somehow they thought this was a great idea. They didn't know anything about manufacturing cereal and making dried food. So what they did is they took already made cereal, but they changed the boxes on them, and they made puns that went along with the presidential campaign. Their most famous cereal was called Obama-O's, and they got all of this publicity for it, and they sold it as a collector's item for about $40 per box. And they sold out completely, and they ended up getting enough money just by selling this cereal to pay off all of their credit card debt. But still, they're kind of struggling. They figured a way to make ends meet. One of their mentors tells them to meet with this guy and try this accelerator program. They did their pitch to all the investors and people who are a part of this accelerator program. The founders of Airbnb said it wasn't going very well at all. He brought a box of Obama-O's and he gave it to the main guy who was in charge of all of this. And the guy said, wait, you mean to tell me that you funded your company by selling breakfast cereal? Yep. So he actually got accepted the following day because he funded his company with breakfast cereal. The leader of the whole accelerator program thought that was absolutely incredible, and if he can do that with breakfast cereal, then what can he do with this great idea in Airbnb? There's an extremely valuable lesson to this story, and that is just pure grit. As an entrepreneur, and really as anyone, you always need to stay positive. There's going to be some tough times. You gotta show grit, and you always have to have creative ways of solving problems. If something goes wrong, you can't get down on yourself. Negative people are lazy people, and once you get that positive mentality, you start gaining some momentum, then that's when you really become more productive and you become happier and you become more successful. These have been inspiring words by Austin Petrie from his food truck. Maybe that's what I should change his YouTube name to. Just finished cleaning up and locked up the trailer. Now I'm off to meet an accountant for both Rollin' and Bowlin' and Voila Valet, so we'll see how this goes. But this is what I'm really excited about. Total inventory blowout here at Tom Thumb. There's the Starbucks I'm going to. Wow. It's a blowout. So a little fact about myself, I've actually never had coffee in my entire life.
Horrible.
You don't need it. I just run off the high on life.
Starbucks is having to buy one, get one free.
Meeting went well. Now I'm gonna head back to Dallas. Yeah. I'm home and it's Tuesday night. You know what that means. Frog legs. Frog legs.
Indeed.
I'm gonna work on the app for a couple of hours and go to bed. I actually have tomorrow off, which is exciting. And when I say I have the day off, that means I'm not working in a food truck. If you like what you see, please subscribe to this channel and comment on any questions you have about starting your own business or anything that you've stumbled upon so I can include it in my next video. See you next week.